Hello and welcome to D&D in 5, where we talk about all things Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Ashley, and whether you're a DM prepping for your next session or you're new to the game, we're here to help. This week, I'm going to be talking about a racial feature unique to the Elves called the Trance. Now, the Trance is something that I see a lot of DMs or new players use incorrectly or not use to its full potential. As written, the Trance is a period of 4 hours that an elf spends in deep meditation, and when they're done, they receive the same benefits that other races would receive from 8 hours of sleep. Now, the reason for the trance is that not only do elves live for a very long time, they are also reincarnated. Each elf is one primal elven soul that gets reincarnated over and over again in multiple lifetimes. The trance is their way of reflecting on those other lifetimes and accessing old memories. Elves mature developmentally and physically at about the same rate as humans. However, spiritually, they go on a much longer journey, and the trance is their tool for navigating that. Now, what an elf experiences during their trance depends a great deal on how old they are. When children are very young, they have access to memories from their entire existence, and this includes memories of their primal selves. Now, before elves were bound to the shape that we recognize them, they used to be able to take on the form of anything they could possibly want. And this includes everything from like the bubbles in a waterfall to a leaf in the wind. As an elf gets older, the memories they experience become limited to the memories they're making just in this lifetime. So during their trance, they can focus on things like practicing the sword skills that they are learning or sharpening their magical abilities. It's that trait that we all wish we had, where we could fall asleep while studying chemistry and wake up knowing everything in the chemistry book about our next exam. As elves begin to reach the end of their life, their memories once again become all the different memories they've accumulated in all of their different lives. They kind of show them a greatest hits tour before they end their time in this existence and move on to their next one. So here are some DM tips to help you better understand the mechanics of how the trance works in the game. First, a trance is the 4-hour period of time that allows an elf to get 8 hours of sleep. So a trance can be used for an elf as a long rest. So their long rest effectively then only takes 4 hours. However, you're normally with a party of people who need 8 hours to achieve a long rest. So elves just wind up with 4 extra hours. The trance also explains why elves can't be put to sleep or contacted with things like the dream spell. They don't dream when they trance. They can sleep, but they don't need to. When elves dream, it's very disorienting for them because typically they experience memories of their own when they're resting, and dreaming, it gives them memories and images that they don't recognize, and it can be very disturbing for them. Now, for the last of my DM tips, it's important to remember that the trance is a uniquely elven feature. All of the variant races of the elves can trance. However, for the drow, it's a little bit different of experience. The drow don't reincarnate, so what they experience during their trance is very specifically just a deep meditation and not a reflection on their past lives. Half-elves do not trance, and it's one of the things that causes tension between half-elves and elves. For elves, a trance is a time where they're reflecting on memories and understanding their reincarnations. Since half-elves are not able to do that, it begs the question for elves of, if half-elves have an elven soul, is that soul going to be able to be reincarnated since the half-elf hasn't been able to connect to them through a trance in this lifetime? So now that you know what a trance is, here are some tips for incorporating it into your story. Maybe you have an elf who has been called to adventure because they've started dreaming and they're getting bombarded at night with these prophetic images that they can't understand, and they've gone out into the world now to attempt to stop some unforeseen prophecy from coming to fruition. If you're a half-elf or a drow, maybe you've suddenly started to trance and you've never experienced it before, and now you're trying to understand what it means to be seeing visions of these previous lives. Maybe you have an elf who has started seeing memories of a task that a past life had started and wasn't able to finish, and now they are compelled and obsessed with finishing that task. Or maybe you have an elf who suddenly started running into past versions of themselves. They recognize these people as reincarnations, but they shouldn't be existing at the same time. What is that about? So thanks for watching. I hope this helps you understand the trance feature of the elves a little bit better and gives you some creative ideas for incorporating it into your stories, besides just making your elves take the longest shift of a watch at night. If you have any questions about lore or monsters you'd like us to answer, please feel free to leave a comment or send us a message. Until next time, This has been D&D in 5, and I will talk to you again soon, party people.